What's happening, everybody? It's time for episode 218.
So, here we go.
What's happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this June 6th, 2024, and I am always so pleased to see so many of you coming back for more. And I thank everybody who subscribes to my channel. I also want to let you know, if you're new, popping by or checking it out, you got to hit that subscribe button. It's super important. Of course, if you want your opportunity to be on the podcast, well, send an email. That's right. You can send an audio, video, or type it out. But you got to send it over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, don't forget about the link tree. It's Find Everything TwT. It's in the description below the video, so click it, copy it, share it. And now with that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. Look, things have been crazy. I'm having a tough time, everybody. I think you all got that last week. But you know what? I haven't drank. I've thought about it numerous amounts of times. Still no vaping. We're not giving in. I'm not giving in. I don't know why I always say we. I'm leaving that in because it annoys me. But I'm not giving in. I keep going strong. I keep pushing forward. I keep doing what I need to do in order not to fall off the wagon again. Look, at the end of the day, I think that's probably the biggest thing that we forget, right? We're dealing with life. Life happens. Things happen. And we fall back into our vices. I know for a fact that a lot of the stuff that I'm going through right now, I could talk about this one. Someone sideswiped me by running a stop sign the other day. Literally, Thursday. Oh, wait a minute. For you, somebody sideswiped me. I came up to a four-way stop, and I let a motorcycle go ahead of me, which is the only reason I know I had right away after that, because it's a four-way stop, right? Boop, boop. So the motorcycle's here. I'm here. I let the motorcycle go, even though I showed up first. He drove by. We waved. And then I start stepping on the gas, coming forward. I took a sip of my water, and boom. So, look, people are driving like nuts out there. They're crazy. We all have to act like getting on the road is going to be the last day of our lives, I feel. Like, you have to be that conscious or aware of everything going on, because the slightest moment you take your eyes off the road, even if it's for a sip of water, could be your last. It was not my last, but it was the last straw for me. I told my wife I wanted a drink. Luckily, she doesn't want to see me doing that, so I had a little bit of encouragement from her not to do it, and then I text my friend, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm coming right over." And you don't have to do that. So I always reach out to the people that will be able to help me when these thoughts come back into my mind. But with the other 2-3 things going on, and then this thing topping off, like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top of the sundae, whatever you want to call it, I feel like I was about to break. But again, made it through the day, made it through the week, and I'm just sticking to what is important to me. And what's important to me is not drinking, not smoking, and not giving in to anything that I have gotten rid of to better my life, right? Getting rid of drinking, better my life. Not smoking cigarettes, not vaping, better for my life, right? It's all better for me. So It was tough, though. It was tough. I can't lie to you and say that I made it through that, without even a thought. Oh, no, no, no. I wanted to drink. I am done with 2024. I don't know if I can take any more. So, but I wanted to let everybody know that. And trust me, as soon as the time is available, all the other things, to an extent, will be divulged. But I have to wait until everything's over, and unfortunately, that is going to take some time. So, but just keep this in mind. If you're dealing with anything going on that's really difficult in life right now, and you're thinking about stepping off or getting that drink or doing whatever your addiction or your crutch was, trust me, if I can discipline myself enough not to do these things, and I believe everybody can do it. And I'm not going to say that 7.5 years separated is easier not to go back to a drink than 6 months separated, a week separated, a year separated. I think the challenge is all in our head, and it's how we make it. So you can make it difficult or you can make it easy. And I just know that all of you out there who are doing what I'm doing and staying away from your addiction, bettering your life, we can keep bettering our life even when life wants to try and keep us down. All right. I'm having a really, really bad string of, my mom calls it bad luck. My friend called it, I have no luck. I've always known this. I'm glad everybody else is seeing it. I've never been a lucky person in my life, So everything I've ever done or anything that I've, gained, it was always with a fight, a battle, having to put in that extra work to make it happen for me. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. So real quick, we're gonna take a break so you can hear from my sponsor. June is finally here, and it's time to slow down and soak up the summer vibes. And where better to do that than at Slowdown Clothing? Visit slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com to discover a world of laid-back beach essentials and summer styles that will have you looking and feeling cool all season long. From cozy beach towels to stylish swim trunks, Slowdown Clothing has everything you need to make a splash this summer. And for the little ones, we've got a fantastic selection of kids' hats and more. Perfect for those family beach days. But wait, there's more. Treat yourself to a range of our trendy t-shirts, hats, pins, socks, and so much more. Express your unique style and slow down in comfort and fashion. And here's the cherry on top. Use promo code TOPHER at checkout and enjoy an extra 10% off your entire purchase. That's right. Save big this June at Slowdown Clothing with promo code TOPHER. So what are you waiting for? Embrace the summer spirit, refresh your wardrobe, and chill out in style with Slowdown Clothing. Visit slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today, and don't forget to use promo code TOPHER for that exclusive 10% off your entire purchase. Slow down, unwind, and let your style shine this summer with Slow Down Clothing. All right, everybody, and I'm back. We are going to get into Topher's topics because we're going to talk about murder. That's right, everybody. It is a wild, wacky world today, and this gentleman, William Kelly, Ossipee man, indicted in Connecticut with the deaths of a pregnant woman and her unborn child. I mean, this guy looks like, the perfect suspect, right? Have you ever noticed, let me go back real quick. Have you ever noticed that, like, you see a person, right? And they're like, this person was caught taking pictures of girls in the bathroom. And you go, yeah. Or you see that, how about the one where there was it a daycare? And there was 4 of them. One was the owner and 3 workers, and they were giving all the kids melatonin to, I don't know, without parents' consent. Did anybody look at that and go, they would never do that? No, everybody looked at those pictures and went, yeah. Well, why did you trust your kids with them? Right? So, I don't know. I bring it up because this guy looks like he did it, It looks like he'd do this. It looks like he would do this.
A man accused of killing an Ossipee woman is now facing an additional charge of second-degree murder for the death of her unborn child. The Attorney General's office tells News 9 this is the first time the state has charged someone with murder in the death of a fetus. Officials say Christine Falzone died in November from multiple blunt force injuries. An autopsy later determined she was 35 to 37 weeks pregnant when she died. William Kelly being held without bail. He's set to be arraigned on the new charge on Monday.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So, just a dirtbag, huh? Did you look at that guy and be like, nah, doesn't seem like he would do that. I don't think so. That's not the guy. Suspect in killings of 8 near Chicago fatally shoots himself in Texas, police say. Police in Joliet, Illinois, had said that wanted to contact Romeo Nance, 23, but that he had died in Texas during a confrontation with the U.S. Marshals. Oh, my God, man. Like, seriously. Why? Police in, is it Juliet or Joelette? Joliet? I don't know. I'm getting it wrong, I'm sure. Maybe it is Joliet. We're searching for a suspect who they considered armed and dangerous after several people were found dead from gunshot wounds on Monday afternoon, authorities said. A man sought in connection with 8 fatal shootings, including the killing of 7 people at 2 homes. Has died after shooting himself following a confrontation with the U.S. Marshals in Texas, some 1,200 miles away. All right, so he shot himself with a handgun at 8:30 p.m. He was located outside of San Antonio. Man, who are the people? Who are the 7 people that the person shot? We got any videos on this? Here we go.
At approximately 12:04 this afternoon, the Joliet Police Department was notified by the Will County Sheriff's Office of an incident here in the 2200 block of West Acres. This incident included several deceased persons in 2 separate residences. A total of 7 people were found shot to death in these 2 locations. We are working very closely with our partners at the Will County Sheriff's Office to locate a suspect in this homicide. On behalf of the Joliet Police Department and the Will County Sheriff's Office, our hearts go out to the victims' families of this heinous crime. We will do everything in our power here at the Joliet Police Department to bring the person responsible for this to justice. We are currently looking for a suspect by the name of Romeo Nance. Nance is 23 years old. He's 6'2", 160 pounds.
Oh, so this must have been before they caught him.
His last known address was right here in the 2200 block. If you have any contact with this suspect, please contact your local authorities. Do not attempt to take this subject into custody on your own.
Well, we don't have to worry about that, do we? Because he's dead. But he took out 7 people. Who were the 7 people? Like, you know what I mean? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find out. They discovered 2 victims in that home. And 5 others were found in the home deputies had gone to initially. Jungles said. Jungles? Okay. 2200 block. Identifying victims. Yeah, so they haven't. One of the Sunday attacks, a 20-year-old man described as a Nigerian immigrant, was found shot in the head outdoors at an apartment complex, which is patrolled by the sheriff's office. He was declared dead at the hospital. The victim was identified Monday. Oh, my God, man. And another Sunday shooting about 10 minutes earlier, a 42-year-old man was shot in a leg and hospitalized. So he was just randomly shooting people. It's not like they were targeted. Or were they? He does know the victims. Oh, shit. So they all know him? Wow. So he's just shooting people he knows? See, that's the most wild shit to me, and I'm sorry that I didn't have that on the screen while I was scrolling through, but that's the wildest shit to me, man. That I don't know about you, but the people that, like, if I was to go off the fucking rails and start shooting people, it's not going to be anybody I know. No. Or maybe that's why people shoot people, because they're so close to them. That's how irritated they are with them. But I'm like, man, I would never want to, like, I mean, that's going to guarantee everything connecting, right? It makes it, I don't know. I don't think I would be taking out relatives if I was to go on a shooting spree. I just don't. So this one here, source, woman dead, another in critical condition after liposuction procedure at a Somerville home. Okay, all right, I'm coming back. What the hell, man? Look, I'm sorry. You need to go work off the weight, all right? You got to find a different way. I'm even recommending Ozempic at this point. Nobody should be doing any plastic surgery out of anybody's house. Nobody should be doing that. Nobody should be doing liposuction. We shouldn't be doing Botox. If you're going to a place to have something like this done and you pull into somebody's driveway and go into their house, well, it's kind of on you at that point, right? I mean, what are you doing? You need to... See, my problem is that this is an indication of somebody trying to save money. But when we're putting things into our body or changing our body or doing anything, right? And I've even gone as far as anything that I put on my skin, I should be able to put in my mouth. You have to understand that our skin is the largest organ that we have. So if you can't put it in your mouth, you probably shouldn't be putting it on, under, or in your skin. You just shouldn't. You really, really should be capable of making that determination. Now, the light is flashing again, and that is because I have the AC on, but I don't care, again, because it's hot up here. But yeah, it seems like we're going to have glitchy light again. So, hey, it's summertime. Summer. Actually, it's not. It's Memorial Day weekend right now while I'm recording, which is the fake beginning of summer. I hate it. Just let the spring be spring. Why do we start it so early? Like, why don't we just start summer on summer? You know, and it's because of the school year that they did this shit. That they treat it like this. It makes me nuts. It makes me nuts. It makes me crazy. I don't think anything makes me nuts or crazy. I'm already there. All right, anyways, let's get into this. So let's see the video on this.
Now, where a death investigation is underway tonight, police say a woman died after what our sources are calling an illegal liposuction procedure.
Another woman is in the hospital right now. Boston 25 News reporter Jim Morelli is
Idiots.
in Somerville, where the investigation is centered. And Jim, paramedics found these women in need of some urgent care.
Why am I not surprised at Somerville?
Yeah, Mark and Vanessa, both of these women went downhill very fast after allegedly undergoing liposuction procedures inside this house in Somerville. Now, there is no indication on the outside of the house that that is a medical office, but last Friday, police were seen removing.
Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to hang your satellite. I'm pretty sure that's not working. Yeah, this is exactly where I would go to get my liposuction done. Absolutely. I mean, what's wrong with it? Right? What's wrong with this? This is a perfect place.
Moving what appeared to be medical waste.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Just before midnight last Thursday, Everett police rushed to a house on Bucknam Street and found a woman in significant medical distress.
Came back from surgery earlier today, working on getting blood pressure now.
That surgery was allegedly performed at this Somerville address, 91 Central Street. A law enforcement source tells 25 Investigates 2 women, co-workers, underwent liposuction here last Thursday. A female, the source says, performed the procedures.
We do know that one individual who had some type of medical procedure has passed away. We know that there's another who's hospitalized.
The woman police attended to in Everett did not survive. A source tells Boston 25 News the hospitalized woman is in critical condition.
It's crazy to even think of, like, who would even trust someone doing it from a house?
The modern era of liposuction began 50 years ago, and today it is the most common cosmetic surgery performed in the U.S. While current complication rates hover below 3%, serious side effects are possible, especially after extensive procedures. They include infection, internal punctures, fat clots known as emboli, pulmonary edema, and hemorrhage. The medical examiner will determine what killed the one liposuction patient in Everett.
And we're continuing to monitor the progress of the other individual.
Oh my God.
Now, sometimes doctors who maybe shouldn't be performing liposuction will do so. Maybe they don't have the training, but they go ahead with it because it is a very profitable surgery to do. That said, we do not know whether or not the person who performed these procedures is a doctor. We don't know what qualifications she has, and in fact, we don't even know where she is.
What? They haven't even caught this lady? Oh my God. Oh my God. So she killed somebody, and somebody else is in the hospital for a botched liposuction done out of a house, which I don't know how they could have botched it. I mean, they're doing it in the house. It's got to be great, right? And to top it all off, she's nowhere to be found. Woo! Jesus Christ, people. All right. Don't do medical procedures out of anybody's house, okay? The most I'll do, and I've done this. Well, now I know friends that have done this. I haven't done this, but tattoos out of a house. Some tattoo artists leave for different reasons, and they do tattoo out of their house. I'd get a tattoo out of somebody's house. You know what I mean? I would do that. But holy Jesus Christ, man. That is crazies. Crazies. I don't even know how to talk anymore. I said crazies. Like I said, everybody, I'm holding. Like if you wanted to see somebody hanging by a thread, this is it right here. This is hanging by a thread. I don't even know how I'm doing this today. So here we go. Let's check this out. Feds. Man stole dead cousin's identity, used info to get job as Melrose firefighter. Some tell me he murdered his fucking cousin. He's like, I want to be a firefighter so bad. I want to be a firefighter so bad and kill my cousin. Let's just cut right into the video. All right. Jesus Christ. Does anybody find this as funny as I do? I mean, I don't know. Every day. Every day. It's crazy. All right, let's watch the video. Sorry. I can't get. Man, oh, man.
Shocking allegations. A Melrose firefighter is accused of stealing his dead cousin's identity to get a job. Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward read through the criminal complaint and picks up the story for us from here.
What are we even talking about?
On January 22nd, a proud day for new Melrose firefighter Henry Huang as he graduates the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy in Stowe. But now, months later, Huang is facing federal charges that he used a fake name, a name belonging to a dead cousin, to apply for a U.S. passport, to get a Massachusetts driver's license, and to become a Melrose firefighter. At the Melrose Fire Department, the chief referred all calls to the city's mayor. In a statement, the mayor did not name Huang, but said simply, the employee was placed on leave as soon as the city was notified of the arrest. The federal complaint lists Huang as John Doe, and that's because the feds say he came to the United States from Vietnam as Trung Nguyen and was ordered deported after he failed to show up in court for a deportation hearing after his arrest on fraud charges. In 2011, Nguyen pleaded guilty to embezzling $46,330 from the Norwell Firefighters Union. He was ordered to pay it back, join Gamblers Anonymous, and to stay away from casinos. According to the complaint, the ID fraud was first detected in March 2023 when Nguyen applied for a U.S. passport with his ID photo, but with Henry Huang's biographical information. Henry Huang, the feds say, was Nguyen's cousin, who was born in 1989 and who died in 2002. By the time Nguyen had applied for the U.S. passport as Huang, he already used the ID to obtain a Massachusetts driver's license, and he renewed it twice.
Wow, he renewed it twice. Wait a minute. You renewed it twice. That's 10 years. That's 10 years. So this guy has been evading for a while.
Melrose's responsibility to confirm this man's identity when they hired him as a firefighter before they sent him to the academy. Now, I checked with ICE to check on this man's deportation status, but I have not heard back. In Melrose, I'm Bob.
That's a shocker. You mean somebody who might have done something wrong doesn't want to say whether or not they did anything wrong yet? Oh, weird. Yeah, wow. Not only did you steal his identity, become a firefighter, but you had already gotten a license with it. And before that, you actually came from Vietnam as yourself, but then missed a deportation court case, yet stayed in the country and changed his name. I mean, he's American. He's American through and through. That's it. This is what we do, right? Don't we do whatever it takes to get what we want? That's the American dream. This guy did it. He did it as Hen Wong. I almost thought for a moment, and I know, this is probably wrong, but we have a place called Hen Wong in Manchester that sells Chinese food, and I just thought that was funny, and yeah, I'm probably going to stop there before I get canceled. But, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Very creative, though. Very, very creative. All right, so we're out of the murder section. Let's get into people can't drive. People cannot drive anymore. A driver careens. Yeah, careens into a Randolph strip mall with two kids in the back seat. I mean, I had to find out what this was about. I just can't get over the fact that so many people are driving into buildings or running stop signs, like in my case. I knew there was a chance I was going to get hit eventually. I mean, the way people run stop signs around Manchester, New Hampshire today, it's probably not the worst out there, right? But I knew eventually something was going to happen. And of course, it always happens at an intersection that I have to use every single day, right? So now, I've gone through that intersection 15 times now just to get, hopefully get rid of the anxiety of going through that intersection. Does anybody else do that? When something happens to you, like, I got into an accident on Thursday at 5:19 p.m. The next morning, Friday, I drove to Seabrook then I drove to Tilton, and then I drove to Concord. So, and then I had to go home to Manchester. So I was on the road for about 3 hours, and I did it on purpose. I did it so that I could get over the fear of being behind the wheel again after getting hit or blindsided or whatever you want to call it. But man, I just had to see what was going on here. This is a wild time to be on the road today. And if nobody else sees or feels this, please comment, because everybody I talk to says the exact same thing. It is wild out on the roads today.
Now for a story you'll only see on Boston 25. This shattered glass has led to a wild story. It involves dash cam video, even a damaged police cruiser. There's a lot unfolding tonight in Norfolk County. Let's bring in Boston 25 News reporter Drew Careens. And Drew, this dangerous drive has provided a few twists and turns.
Vanessa, police are still trying to figure out what caused this woman to lose control with 2 young kids in tow here. Witnesses say she veered off of North Main Street and left a trail of destruction along the front side of this strip mall.
Jesus.
Fortunately, this framing shop here that got the brunt of it isn't open on Mondays.
Oh, really? Lucky for them.
Came outside, saw what happened.
The screeching tires that alerted witnesses in Randolph to an incoming SUV are heard on dash cam video. Police say a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old were in the back seat of the maroon Kia that careened off of North Main Street, coming just feet from crashing through the strip mall where Fred Minsker's physical therapy business is located.
I saw this guy pulling out the kids out of the car and stuff.
He says witnesses helped pull the children to safety before the woman freed herself from the driver's seat, a deployed airbag visible after the crash.
I mean,
the
that car is
out-of-control
total.
drive took out bricks, a bike rack, and a pillar, which then toppled into the front glass of Waldo Custom Framing.
They had 2 little kids on the back seat, and she was in the front seat, and everybody was screaming to try to get her out. She got out, and then she smiled.
Francisco Gomes owns the business next door.
She hit the post there, come in, hit the rails here.
His son was
She hit the post there, she hit the rail there.
To what had just happened outside.
I saw like a bunch of smoke around the entire place, and I came outside, I ran here, and then basically what I saw was like smashed up stuff.
The damage wasn't done just yet. A post holding up a car wash sign that was hit by the SUV plummeted down onto the side of a Randolph police cruiser that responded to the scene.
It was pretty terrifying.
Oh, you know what, though? That's also her fault. She's going to have to pay for that.
But I realized that I was fine.
Wow.
And crews spent the last several hours boarding up.
Yeah, all right. We don't care about that. Oh, my God, man. Holy crap. That's crazy. That's crazy. I wish the dash cam video actually caught the car going up. And speaking of dash car cams, I'm getting one now. I'm actually getting one for my wife's vehicle and my vehicle, because I was told by the insurance company it's going to be a he said type of situation, which means both insurance companies will deny the other party's claim. It'll go under as a non-fault accident, and I'll have to pay my deductible. So I guess my message to everybody out there is, if you don't have a dash cam yet, you should probably get one in case you have somebody, like I did, run a stop sign and crash into you, because then I would have had video of me letting the motorcycle go, me going through the stop, and that guy not stopping at the stop sign and colliding with me. So I am getting a dash cam for both of my vehicles, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I'm still driving the Infiniti. It's actually in the shop right now as I speak, but hopefully they can save it. You know what I mean? I'm really hoping that they can save it. I think I'm like everybody else out there. I can't afford another car. They're too expensive. The rates are too high. And I lost my shirt on this one already. I can't afford to lose my shirt on another one. You know what I mean? Crazy, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. All right, what's next? Caught on camera, everybody. Lancaster man arrested twice within 3 hours for allegedly damaging local store. Dude, talk about pushing your luck.
This business is our only 24-hour business in town, and with the holiday weekend, they're going to lose a lot of money.
The Big Apple store in Lancaster, New Hampshire, potentially closed for Memorial Day weekend. Police say the reason, 35-year-old Richard Ruddy from Lancaster. Here's the timeline of what they say happened. Around 10 p.m. Thursday night, you could see Ruddy checking out, then allegedly starts causing damage. He starts with pushing and throwing some bottles, then ripping down signs, pushing the cash register, and it continues for about 5 minutes.
I'm not sure what caused him to have the reaction in the store that he did. Anything he could grab, he was throwing. So he made a very large mess.
The police arriving 5 minutes after the panic button was pressed. Ruddy even throwing a carton of cigarettes at an officer, but was then arrested. For the first time, Ruddy is facing multiple charges, including felony criminal mischief. He was released on bail with specific conditions not to return to the Big Apple store. When Ruddy was released last night, he returned right to the scene of the crime. The police chief tells me he was hanging around this area when police saw him, approached him. That's when he tried to flee, and he went right through the yellow pillars into the Big Apple. Watch as Ruddy drives fully into the store. Here's another angle where you can see the car not only taking out the front doors, but whatever was in front of it. How bad's the damage?
It's excessive. They're going to, unfortunately, a holiday weekend, and this store is going to be closed for quite a few days.
He was arrested again, but this time a judge ordered him to be held in custody.
As long as he's being held, I can tell you there's no danger to society.
Jesus
Everybody's safe from this individual as long as he's being held.
In Lancaster, Troy Lynch, WMUR News 9.
I mean, what the... Wild, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's crazy. So not only did he trash the place, but he came back and then drove a car through it. Woo! That guy is not handling stress very well. I can only laugh about this because I will tell you, man, when I got into that accident, I was in my jiu-jitsu gear. I was going to class. It was Thursday night, last class before Memorial Day weekend. And, dude, I wanted to fucking choke that motherfucker out that took out my car so bad just so I could get some jiu-jitsu in that day because I missed class because of that. But holy Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Let's see here. All right, this one I think is pretty relevant to everything going on with everybody out there today. And I have said it, and I'm going to say it again because I believe it to be true, that insurance is the biggest scam that we all pay into. And this here may prove my point. Massachusetts insurance companies canceling homeowners' policies using drone and aerial footage. I think this should be absolutely 100% illegal. This is wrong.
Insurance for decades, only to suddenly receive a letter that your longtime insurer is not renewing your policy.
Yeah, that's what happened to one local homeowner. Boston 25's Catherine Parada.
Now, hold on. I'm going to press pause real quick just because of the simple fact that maybe they had an insurance claim, right? They had an insurance that wouldn't allow a trampoline or a dog or, you know, there's specific dogs and things that almost all insurance companies put up as high risk. And if you are asked whether or not you have this certain dog or trampoline or pool, and you say you don't, and they insure you, I'll give them the defense that you are falsifying your insurance when you do that. So maybe that's what this is, but I don't think so. Let's go.
Explains the new tools insurers may be using to evaluate your property and what you can do if you find yourself in this situation.
I felt like I was blindsided.
John Dentermont has owned his Malden home for decades, insuring it with the same company the whole time. He says he was shocked when he got this letter from his insurer last summer, detailing pricey repairs that needed to be made within 60 days.
Get the moss off the
Oh,
roof.
my
trim the
God,
tree
dude,
back
yeah.
That had branches hanging over the house, and get some, in their case, they said, get some shingles.
Dentermont says he quickly got estimates and reached out to his agent, but he says it wasn't enough.
November 3rd, I get a notification that they have decided to cancel my homeowner's policy.
Oh, see, that's
forthwith.
bullshit.
In Massachusetts, insurers have the right to not renew policies as long as they provide a homeowner with 45 days written notice prior to the policy's expiration and specific reasons for the decision. But Dentermont says he's baffled that the company dropped him. In the 41 years with his previous insurer, John
Oh my,
says he
wait
never
a
once
minute.
filed a claim,
Whoa.
and he was never
41 years? Do you know how much housing insurance costs? Holy shit, man, that sucks.
notified of any defects with his home. He doesn't know how the insurer collected the information leading to the notice of non-renewal, but his daughter has a hunch.
Perhaps, they do the Google overhead.
It's becoming more commonplace. Whether it's a drone image or from a satellite, they have more access to data about you as a policyholder and data about your property, and they're using that to choose their customers.
Emily Rogan is the Senior Program Officer for United Policyholders, a consumer advocacy organization. She says insurers' use of aerial images to inspect property has taken off since the pandemic. The Massachusetts Division of Insurance confirms aerial images can be used during policy renewal decisions.
Really?
What can you do if you get a notice of cancellation or non-renewal? Rogan says first.
So it's completely legal? This is bullshit. They just find any reason to cancel you today.
First, ask why.
Ask to see the photos. The insurance companies are not required to show you the photos as of this point, but you can always ask. Make sure it's your property and not your neighbor's property, and make sure that anything that they see isn't an error.
Rogan says ask if the insurer will change their decision if you prove you have a contract for pending repairs. Beyond that, Rogan says there are 3 things a consumer should do. First, start shopping for new insurance immediately.
Wow.
Next, shop around. Different insurance companies have different underwriting guidelines, so a no from one company may not mean a no from all. Finally, Rogan says go through an independent broker. They have access to different insurers and can make the shopping process easier. The biggest takeaway?
So it's more important now than ever for homeowners to stay on top of home maintenance, because you never know when that insurance company is going to take that photo.
Wow. Wow. I am so thankful right now that I've done what I've done. Holy crap, everybody. That's crazy. That's crazy. So now with the new roof, new paint job, new driveway, new garage, they shouldn't deny me or cancel me, but they have the right to use an aerial view of my house to cancel my insurance policy. Wow. I think that is just another way for them to get out of things. Again, pay in for 41 years to have that company just go, nah, we're not insuring you anymore. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in insurance for them to just drop you, come up with, well, this was an act of God, or how about my case with my car that I keep bringing up, because you have to remember I'm recording early, and this just happened to me 2 days ago. My insurance company wanted to total my car. And it wasn't until I called on that Friday when I was doing all that driving, and I said, why are you totaling my car? I'm driving it. They go, what are you talking about? And I go, so let me get this right. You were going to total my car because of its year, 2013, and the fact that it had 170,000 miles on it, but you didn't want to take the time to actually check the vehicle out, and you just deemed it totaled. Well, guess what? They changed their minds when I talked to them on the phone, and I said, hey, I'm driving the car. And they're like, well, what's on the dashboard? And I said, nothing. My headlights work, my directionals work, my brakes work, I have no lights on in the car. It's driving like it never happened. There's a couple little things going on with it, but I'm sure they'll be able to figure that out once they get it. But this is what they're doing today. They make the decisions, and we don't get a say in it. And we're the ones paying. So we are the ones that should have a say in all of this. It's our money, not yours. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It really, really fucking aggravates me. I'm sick of insurance companies, and I'm sick of them turning around and just doing whatever they want to our shit. You know what I mean? We pay them, and then they just do whatever they want with our shit. It's ridiculous, and it needs to change. It really does. This is kind of sad, and I don't like to end on a sad note, but I loved this guy. I thought he was awesome, and I just, man, it sucks, man. When you see somebody die under the age of like 60, you know, Morgan Spurlock, everybody. Morgan Spurlock died of the age of 53 in New York, surrounded by his friends and family. He died of cancer complications Thursday. So that was 5/23. Oh, the day I got into my accident. Oh, okay. Man, a lot happened that day. So I want to watch the video. Man, I don't know about you, but I absolutely loved his documentaries. Oh, my God. I loved everything that he did. You know, the show, I mean, they're going to go through it. Let's just watch the video, everybody.
Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, could I get the double quarter pounder with cheese meal?
Large or supersize?
I think I'm going to have to go supersize.
Oscar-nominated documentarian Morgan Spurlock passed away at 53 from cancer complications, according to his family. You probably know him from Super Size Me, his controversial documentary involving his own experiment to consume only food from McDonald's for 30 days.
Double quarter pounder with cheese. More calories than anything. There it is. A little bit of heaven.
But you may not have heard of his involvement in several other conversation-invoking documentaries over the years.
Palm Wonderful presents the greatest movie ever sold.
So what I want to do is make a film all about product placement, marketing, and advertising, where the entire film is funded by product placement, marketing, and advertising. Where should I be able to go where I don't see one bit of advertising?
To sleep.
We never expected this to happen. Just 5 normal lads having the time of their life.
Opportunities like this don't come along very often, you know, to have access to a band of this magnitude at this moment. And the day this movie opens, it's going to be seen by more people on more screens in more cities and more countries around the world than have seen every movie I've ever made in theaters combined.
Yoo-hoo! Osama!
I'm looking for Osama bin Laden. Why is that funny?
It's impossible. Mission is impossible.
So this is a good moisturizer? It'll keep my hands really soft? Yeah? And do you know where I could find Osama bin Laden?
The CIA later revealed Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden himself had a copy of the film found in his movie collection in Pakistan, which was released to the public years after he was killed.
Man, it's just... he was so good at what he did. I loved all of his movies. I watched them all his documentaries, however you want to say it. I can't talk right now, obviously. I said crazies earlier, so. But, man, I'm going to miss him. I thought his work was amazing. I thought what he did was hilarious. I mean, if you haven't seen any of those movies that he's done, go and check them out. They're everywhere. And, yeah, it's just, he's going to be missed, man, at least by me. I'm going to miss him. It's crazy. It's just 53. That gives me 9 years. That's not a long time. It's that's scary. Scary. Gives me 9 years. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to make it past 53, but I didn't know. See, another person out there that I didn't know was battling cancer. They really do keep it hush-hush when they're battling something like this. And, you know, I understand it's privacy and it's their private life, and I get that. But at the end of the day, there's so many people battling cancer that you think that if we got cancer, we could talk about it more. You know? That we could share the stories with everybody, because maybe what you're going through, somebody else is going through, and maybe they turned a corner, and maybe they could help you turn a corner, or maybe a doctor would see it, or somebody else with a little bit more knowledge about that specific type of cancer could then turn around and be like, hey, I can help you with this. I've helped X amount of people with this. But the thing is that cancer is such a long battle, and it's got so many variables within it that, you know, nobody wants to really talk about it. Nobody wants to divulge information, and they keep it all hush hush because, you know, they want to fight the battle, and they don't want to listen to the masses. And I completely understand that. But it's like, I also have to assume that rich, famous people have all the best care in the world, and they're talking to the elite of the elites of their profession. So the fact that he died may be because it was just an aggressive cancer, but I think more people, I mean, there was a couple people that died of cancer earlier this year, and nobody knew they had cancer. You know, it's like that guy that did the movie, what is it called? Black Panther. And like once the movie was done and released, the guy died. Nobody knew he was sick. And it's like, man, if only we knew, maybe there could have been something else to help save them. But again, that might just be me, you know, wishful thinking, that our technology and our science and our medical industry is so far along that I feel like these things happening, you know, I feel like we talk about everything like these things shouldn't be happening today, but we're not as far along as I wish we were, and I don't think we're as far along as they make things out to be. But man, gonna miss you, Morgan Spurlock. It was, just a sad day Thursday, I guess, overall. So, but, all right, everybody, that is, oh, man, there goes my lights again. There goes my lights again. Well, with that all being said, I just want to thank everybody again for subscribing. I want to remind everybody new to subscribe. If you want to get your story or be a guest, you got to send out an email. Send an audio, video, or type it out, but you got to send it over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And then, of course, don't forget about the link tree. It's in the description below the video. Make sure you go and click or copy that. Share it with everybody you know. And I hope everybody out there enjoys the rest of their Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later.